Today we're going to be showcasing Henry Triple C Cejudo. He is fighting Song Yadong this weekend at UFC Seattle. It might seem like to the new fans in the UFC that he might be a little bit washed up, or maybe he just doesn't have it no more. But we had to consider that not only his two losses are against champs, like Aljamain Sterling was the current champ. He came back for that title shot, of course. And then a loss to Merab, which is the current bantamweight champion. Almost shaping up to be one of the best bantamweights we've ever seen. So those losses, I wouldn't say are bad. If we look at some of the wins before he took his 2 to 3 year hiatus. Sergio Pettis, Demetrius Johnson, TJ Dillashaw, Marlon Moraes, I believe you say. That's how you say his last name. And Dominic Cruz. All the way back in 2020. So I don't think he's washed. I think he can definitely be a top 5 threat at the very least. But you got to consider who Song Yadong trains with. He does train with Uriah Faber. And those guys at Alpha Team, or I think they call themselves something like that. I forget the name of the gym exactly. But, those guys are great grapplers, and pretty sure they're drilling, a lot of takedown defense for Song Yadong. So you got to picture a fight where if Henry can't get those takedowns, what does this fight look like? He's facing somebody that's really big for bantamweight, great boxing, very fast hands, and deadly knockout power. Maybe not the touch of death like some other people may have, but definitely dangerous power that you don't want to stand with. So his best key to victories are probably to be, mixing in some of the striking and definitely getting in those takedowns and trying to control him. That's going to be his best way to win this fight, as far as I can see. Because I don't think he's going to be able to stand up with Song Yadong in the whole fight and actually win. I don't think so. Not at all. He's going to have to mix in the grappling. If he's not able to, I either see Song Yadong getting a TKO, maybe second or third round, or maybe a decision for Song Yadong. Because the times have changed as well. Judging criteria is based on effective grappling, which is ground and pound threat, or just ground and pound in general. Submission attempts, things like that, like fight ending scenarios or possible fight enders, or at least getting close to it. So if you're just controlling him while Song Yadong, let's say, landed multiple combinations, maybe swelled up the eye of Cejudo, that will be around for Song Yadong, regardless if he gets control for 2 to 3 minutes. If no action's being done, it does not score very high. So he's going to have to definitely do some damage or get him down very, very, very early. But it's pretty cool. He's still taking on, challenges, even though he's come up short his past 2 fights. And you can't knock his accomplishments, being flyweight champion, bantamweight champion, and an Olympic gold medalist in wrestling. He has the accolades to retire at any point in time, but he's still choosing to come in there and face against the best that bantamweight has to offer. So much respect to him. He might be a little bit cringy with some of the stuff he does. He's just trying to sell fights at the end of the day. So could never judge someone for selling the fight. As long as they're not getting too personal with people's families, because some people do that, like Colby Covington, talking about someone's father that passed on. There's certain lines you really shouldn't cross, but he does it in a funny way. Henry Cejudo, he'll dress up like, I think, a magician or something he did one time, and he had a snake, I think, for the TJ Dillashaw fight. So I don't mind it. But for the most part, as far as in UFC 5 using him, it is going to be a very hard time. I faced a few Royvals, and this is flyweight, so bantamweight is even worse because it's just, most of the guys in bantamweight are just much larger than Henry Cejudo as far as in reach and all that. So, and there's other people that can grapple that have more tools. So definitely not an easy pick at all. But we're still going to try to make him work. we definitely got to get to our grappling. It's really hard because of the reach, but, we do got to give him something to worry about up top so we can set up our takedowns and be able to either submit or ground and pound our opponents. Yeah, like, look, another really big flyweight. I was like, man, if I had bantamweight on, my goodness, that O'Malley would have been, like, terrible. I would have had to shoot for my life. So we're just going to be taking our time. This guy's a lot longer than us for, like, the arm reach, the leg reach. He can kick us and punch us where we can't even counter or land on him. So it's definitely going to be a hard fight. Especially, like, my strongest point is definitely not going to be like my pressure boxing or standing in the pocket. So I'm forced to do that with certain fighters. That's going to be challenging, but something I try to improve on. Always got to analyze yourself as well. If you don't realize where you're weak at and you don't work on it, it's going to be very hard for you to improve in the game. I'm looking forward to this card, and tomorrow we also got that big boxing card. So if I have any boxing fans that still watch, let me know what you guys think about that card, who you think's going to win. There's Bacoli stepped in to fight Joseph Parker. And Shakur's fighting a guy, I'm not too sure who he is. I'm still new to boxing, so I don't know. Maybe you guys know him. But I'm looking forward to seeing pretty much that whole card. I hope to see boxing cards kind of, being built like this, from where you want to see it from the start of the main to the end, like a UFC structure. Like where there's great fights all around. Like there's 4 or 5 fights on that card I actually want to see. On top of that, we get the UFC Seattle later on. I'm hoping the boxing thing or the boxing event it's in Saudi, so it should be earlier than the main card of UFC. I don't know. It'll be stupid for UFC to try to compete with that boxing card with a fight night card. It's just not smart business. So I'm pretty sure that's why the main card's at 9 p.m. Just to make sure that boxing thing's over, so the fans get to enjoy both, hopefully. Yeah, as far as in Undisputed, if you guys are wondering, I'm just waiting on an update, just like everyone else. Once they fix hit detection, even though the game's not going to be perfect, I don't mind playing to do some content and having a little bit of fun. Look at that, we knock him down right here. We had to mix it up. We came in with a big overhand right. We click R1 and X right there to try to, hip toss him off the fence, and we shoot the low single right after that. Basically, you just shoot a single leg from a little bit further away, and you'll get that animation where you kind of go for the low single. So it's definitely a good thing to do to catch people off guard. Try to land some knees to the body, get that stamina down. Just drain them overall with the grappling. That's my sole purpose of these. On to the second. Touch of gloves and back to action. Pretty sure we do hold the power advantage. I don't think the fighter he's using has a ton of power. I don't play flyweight too much because pretty sure everyone knows how flyweight is. People take a lot more shots and people are able to throw more in flyweight and below, so I don't really play it. We're able to drop him right there. Try to jump on him to get that ground control, but we don't get our opportunity. So we're going to turn that takedown down. Then we're going to turn it up. We're just testing him right now. Plus, I got a stamina lead, so I could afford to go for extra shots. Try to get him worried about that. Light him up top. Now we're going to start to exchange a little bit. Misses that kick. Look at that. Coming in with overhand. Guarantee he was worried about those takedowns right there. So we're going to do a clinch trip right here. Get him down to the ground. We're just going to concede control. He does go down. He does get it. I believe he muscle modified that, so it was a bit faster. We're going to hold L1 and hold the stick towards his back, and that's how we took the back, and then we just dragged him down from there. Put him in a rear naked choke just to see what he does in the submission. He does do a fake, so since I have some GA, I'm going to go over the mount. posture up and hold R1 and flick towards side control, since we did have a short-term stamina lead. See, we could do that again right there. You know, so when people are muscle modifying, if you're able to get good posture ups, you'll be able to do that as well. Just holding him down. You know, look at his stamina already. You know, his stamina's getting cooked. But yeah, I'm happy for this card, man. This is a great fight night card. You got Fluffy versus Brendan Allen. You got some other cool fights on here too. So definitely looking forward to the event. Let me know you guys' opinions on the matchups. Who you think's gonna win? You know, let me know down in the comments. Go up. We deny that. And that's all she wrote. Hope you guys enjoyed.